The answer to 1984 is 1776.
You know what Mark Zuckerberg's doing? It came out more than 5 years ago in his own company documents when whistleblowers warned the world that he was trying to isolate people to be only on Facebook and to be depressed and alone so that avatars or fake computer identities would be their only friends, thus taking full control of the user's mind. That's just a beta test for what's now rolling out with Facebook claiming ownership of the Metaverse and buying up hundreds of VR companies, and now trying to force its users and employees to solely live in a fantasy world controlled and orchestrated by Zuckerberg and the organizations that he works with. This priest class wants to lock us in our five senses here in the third dimension. And to do that, they're creating an artificial electronic prison or matrix to seduce us into giving up control of our bodies and our minds. This is the greatest deception ever. Evil is digging in because it knows humanity is waking up and that group consciousness is forming and that we are beginning to transcend the third dimension. Everything that's being launched against us is an attempt to hold us in the third dimension and not just enslave us, but finally completely destroy us and absorb our energy into this system they're building. This is beyond a satanic ritual. This is beyond anything you've read about in science fiction, because this is actually happening in the real world today. It's so important for all of you that already know this innately and have already witnessed this for yourselves to understand you are the leaders of the future that must go to the next level so that you and I and others working together can free the rest of humanity before they get trapped in this artificial matrix system the globalists are building.
All I'm offering is the truth.
The film The Matrix, made in 1999, is not original. Documents came out in 1990 from the late 1970s where NASA and DARPA were developing a plan very similar to The Matrix. And all that information is now public. They're attempting to seduce us to give up our five senses, not just holding us in the third dimension, but actually creating an artificial slave system so that they can turn us into their programmable slaves. Humanity are not robots, no matter how many times Ray Kurzweil and the social engineers tell us this, but they are trying to turn us into robots. But if you look at the left, they're all embracing the Pfizer shots, the Moderna shots. They're all embracing transhumanism, all at the same time claiming that they're so in line with the earth and so in line with creation. But they worship the creation and thus worship themselves instead of understanding there's the divine transcendence of reaching out into God's wider plan and either getting with that natural program or rebelling against it, which is sin. And I don't say that from some pharisaical, hypocritical, high on the mountain statement. And I say that from deep research and understanding of how this really works. There's really only two ways to go: choose God, God's plan, or choose those that are working against the plan's operation. They've got a lot of excuses and a lot of reasons that you ought to join them. At the end of the day, it's about enslavement. It's about turning over your will to them, and you will be betrayed, you will be destroyed. You look at the servants of evil, they are really a pathetic, hateful lot. So angry they chose wrong, they're trying to claw as many good souls with them as they can. That's really what this is. Any species of crab I've ever caught, you put them in a bucket, they can work together to get out, but instead, any crab that tries to get out, they then go over and grab him and attack him and start killing him. As long as he just sits there and dies, they're all happy. But it's that one crab tries to get out, they're not about to let that happen. Hence the intergalactic crab bucket system, or the chicken shit dimension. You really want to talk about what Zuckerberg and all them are building, it's the chicken shit dimension, where you go in there believing you're going to find enlightenment, and all you do is find depression and enslavement. Because once they get you in their system, just like the general internet was, they're going to clamp down on it and take all the basic freedoms away. That's the plan. They're going to allow the Wild West of VR, and they're going to have all the prizes and celebrity worship for people that are involved in there. And then as soon as everybody basically is addicted to it and needs it to have their job or work or live, they're going to drop the boom on people. And that's already happened with the whole lockdowns. That's a forced system to jump us off the tracks we were on onto the metaverse system. And that's their play. Total false reality immersion, a true matrix system being built. We're now being inserted into the matrix. Starts with radio, then TV becomes the center of the household, People have dinner around it now. Instead of talking to grandma and grandpa and your neighbors and reading books, you now watch the TV. Then it's desktop computers, and it's handheld computers, then it's VR goggles and Google glasses, and then it's them forcing you into that system to use it to work or be able to even do basic business, because that's what all the major companies are going to demand. And then if you don't behave and operate the way they want, you're basically even blocked out of that system and starved to death. Just like if you don't take the poison shots, you're blocked out of the system. It's the same thing over and over again. All of it is used to control you, not to empower you. It's evil from the beginning. It's a snare.
The answer to 1984 is 1776.
InfoWars has been banned, arrested, attacked, and threatened.
And so, believe it or not, I think you all get it. And it literally, I guess I know you all know it. I'm sorry to go on so long. Thank you.